All right, let's get right into it. Today, we're talking about a brand new tool that's trying to fix one of the biggest frustrations in AI development. It's an open source library from the folks at Gradio, and it's called Daggr. If you're building anything in AI, this question probably hits a little too close to home. You know the feeling, right? You spent all this time setting up a complicated workflow, you hit run, you wait, and the whole thing just dies at the very last step. So first, let's really unpack what I'm calling the AI workflow headache. Because honestly, it's a universal pain point that costs developers a ton of time, resources, and, let's be real, a whole lot of sanity. And this right here, this is the classic scenario. You load your data, that works fine. You pre-process your text, still good. You finally get to run the model and boom, fail. So now what? You have to go all the way back to the beginning, and half the time you're just guessing where the problem even is. This is exactly why traditional AI development can feel like you're working inside a black box. The whole process is slow, you can't really see what's happening in each individual step, and it is just plain frustrating. But what if there was a better way? A better way to not just build, but more importantly, to debug these things. Well, this is where Daggr steps into the picture. So what is it? At its heart, Daggr is an open-source Python library. But the real magic, the thing that makes it special, is its visual canvas. It's all about combining the power of code with a clear visual map of what's actually going on. The big idea here is to stop thinking about our workflows as these long, fragile scripts that just run from top to bottom. Instead, Daggr helps you organize everything as a graph. Think of it like a flow chart where every single box or node can be checked out and even rerun all by itself. Okay, so let's dig into how Daggr actually builds these visuals. It has a really interesting philosophy that makes it stand out. It's all about being code first, visual second. So what does that actually mean? Well, you've probably seen those GUI builders where you drag and drop boxes to make a workflow. In that world, the visuals are the code. It can be kind of rigid and an absolute nightmare for version control. Daggr flips that completely on its head. You write your standard Python code just like you always do, and Daggr automatically generates the visual interface from your code. This means your work stays flexible, it's easy to reproduce, and your pull requests are still readable. Now, to build these graphs, you basically have three main types of building blocks, or nodes. First, you've got the Gradio node, which is awesome for plugging in Gradio apps or Hugging Face spaces you've already built. Then there's the FN node, which lets you wrap any old Python function you want for your own custom logic. And finally, the inference node lets you talk directly to models on Hugging Face. It's super versatile. Okay, so we know what Daggr is and kind of how it works. Now let's get to the good stuff, the features that can seriously supercharge your workflow. The first killer feature is something called state persistence. And believe me, this is a massive quality of life upgrade for anyone working on a complex project. So what it does is automatically save everything, the state of your entire workflow, all the inputs you used, and the results from each step. This means you can literally just close the whole thing down, go grab a coffee, come back later, and pick up exactly where you left off. No more rerunning that hour-long data loading step. And that leads us to what might be the most powerful debugging feature of all, the ability to rerun single individual nodes. Hey, remember that failing pipeline from the beginning? With Daggr, if that last step fails, you don't have to start over. Nope, you just tweak the code or the inputs for that one node and rerun it. This lets you hunt down bugs and test your fixes in seconds, not hours. It's a total game changer for how fast you can iterate. And of course, because it's made by the Gradio team, it's no surprise that it fits perfectly into the whole Gradio and Hugging Face ecosystem. You can launch it locally and get that cool visual canvas right in your browser, or you can easily share it and deploy it on Hugging Face spaces. So let's wrap this up. What's the final takeaway for developers who might be thinking about giving this a shot? Well, the early buzz from the community has been really good. Developer Sebastian Buzdugan said, mixing endpoints and Gradio is such a smart combination. And I think that really nails it. It perfectly bridges that gap between having full control with your code and getting clear, immediate visual feedback. Now, time for a quick reality check. It's really important to remember that Daggr is still a lightweight, experimental project. It's in beta, which means the way you use it, the API, might change as the team gets more feedback from users. So, what does that mean for you? It means you need to know where it fits in your toolbox. Right now, Daggr is absolutely perfect for development, for super fast experimentation, and for building out prototypes. It's not meant to be a production-ready solution, at least not yet. But for that early, messy, creative part of a project, it looks incredibly powerful. And the best part is, you can try it out today. It's open source, up on GitHub, and you can install it with a simple pip command, just as long as you're using Python 3.1 or newer. Which really leaves us with one final question to think about. With tools like Daggr popping up, tools that merge the power of code with the clarity of a visual interface, maybe the real question is, isn't it time we all started adding a visual canvas to our AI code? It could be the key to building things faster and, frankly, with a lot less frustration.